Welcome back to the podcast. We're live, baby. We're here to talk to you about a couple of random things. We're just going to wing it and see where it goes.
Nice, Trey. We didn't plan this at all.
No.
Yeah.
Thanks for calling us out
Yeah,
on that, though.
thanks, man. Trying to look professional here.
Yeah.
Zero effort, guys. We
Killing
just
the
do
game.
whatever.
As long as we stick to routine, we're good.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and niff first. Let's get it going. Ready, boys? Shake. Pink.
Pinky's out on this one.
Oh, dude.
That was new? Oh, my God. Hold on.
The Hype Dust is number one, I think, right now.
I'm crying, dude. I'm crying over here. It's so bad.
Gimme. I can't be the one
on.
that's Hype Dusting.
I don't know, man. It's just like...
It's gone bad.
It's like it's getting stronger with the fulls.
That was the worst.
Dude, that one hurts now, man.
Why? It's getting stronger as time goes on.
I told you, dude.
Oh,
It's exponential.
At what point do you think people get tired of us coughing for like 3 minutes
I'm
straight?
sure they just fast. You guys just fast right forward
just
through
get it,
this,
right?
right, dude? You have to. They're like, oh, now watch these idiots.
Oh, wow.
every episode, our speech gets slower and slower.
Yeah.
We were forgetting words.
Yeah. We just make things up on the go. Anyways.
I'd kind of like to draw it back to before we even started this podcast. We were having a really good discussion on like the primal side of man,
Yeah.
kind of the dark side of life, and how you can kind of utilize that to your benefit. And I don't know, there's a whole bunch of different facets of things that go behind that.
And man being a universal term for like the species of the human race, not just men
part
in
of
general.
human nature.
Yeah.
The dark side, which isn't talked about, right? Everything's always lovey-dovey, glowy, happy-go-lucky, but it's not reality. It's not the world.
Yeah. And especially in today's society, right? So it's like, that offended me. Wow, okay. Yeah, let's dive into that because I care.
Yeah.
I just feel like masculinity in general is just looked down upon, speaking as like for men, right?
Yeah.
2020 is probably the turning point of that. Maybe it was a little bit before that. I don't know.
I think it happened before that, but that was certainly like, there was an increase
Yeah.
for sure in
But
2020.
way so more in like the last decade. Like,
Yeah.
you were last night watching Braveheart, right?
Holy
That is
smokes,
the
dude.
manliest of men. William Wallace.
Christ. And those eyes, man, are just dreamy, dude. Like, how many close-ups in that movie of those blue eyes are there?
Nice bagpipes in the background.
Dude, sometimes I wish that we could do like a Forge commercial and it's just me. Except for my eyes, I've got like one lazy eye and it kind of drifts, but like, you know, you get the same picture, right?
Yeah.
But,
Little bagpipes in the
thing.
background.
yeah, little bagpipes.
Yeah.
There's so many
they're like
close-ups.
funeral bagpipes, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a difference.
But just what men were like back then. I think nowadays we like live in such a soft society. There's not really any call to like, you know, him in that movie has a call to like bring his people to freedom. Cause like there's this epic calling that he has where, I'm sure you guys have seen the movie, but it's like his people are essentially being enslaved and he's fighting the ultimate fight for freedom. And nowadays it's like everything's so cush, so easy. Everything, like Chancellor's saying, everybody's more focused on not offending people. But there's no real passion, there's no real drive that can kind of push you to that, what he has, like in that dark side.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is that quote where it's like hard men create good times create weak men, weak men create hard
times.
Yeah, just a vicious cycle.
And we're somewhere in the bad times with soft men.
Yeah.
We're in that last decade of this transition now. How many guys do you guys know that actually like their job, like their relationship, like their life, and it's not just revolving around this, you know, social media, just scrolling on my phone, hitting my 9 to 5, clocking in, clocking out, have no hobbies, like don't ever push themselves.
Yeah.
Like it's just, and that's the norm. That's normality. That's a white picket fence lifestyle that everybody's got to chase down.
And just tiptoeing through everything, trying not to stir the pot. You want to get home comfortably.
Make sure
you don't want to create any issues for anybody.
Yeah, don't piss your boss off by any means, like, because, geez, we wouldn't want that.
No, and then there's like this cancel culture too for people that are trying to be outspoken or
Yep.
state their opinions or beliefs, and there's this like real threat to be somebody that wants to stand up for something.
Right. And anything that is passionate or I would say aggressive is dumbed down and looked down upon, right?
Yeah.
It's like as much as, you can not like Trump, he was super aggressive.
Yeah.
And just, like he had a plan of attack and he went for it. Whether he was a good president or a bad president, you have to admire that in him, right? Because what do we have now? It's like the complete opposite, just the shut-in, just do the good thing and see what happens, and that's turning out great.
It's a different vibe for sure. Yeah. You bring up a good point about like the great call to arms that you see in that movie, and like men don't have a real call to arms a lot of the time now.
Why would they?
Why would they? Right. And so then, I mean, we were talking about how it ties into lifting and like how you learn to be a monster and control that savage side of yourself, but use it. Like when you get underneath a 500-pound squat or whatever, for you, it's like fucking, 700 pounds?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But same thing, you're using that savage side of yourself. And so it's almost like men like us have to find that call to arms. And I mean, we found a purpose here and we're doing something with that. But that's like someone's journey to the gym, right?
Yeah.
That's what it can be for some people.
Because I firmly believe that everybody has that darkness to them, right?
Yeah.
And the society would preach that you should always stay away from it.
Well, why
Right?
would they
Be
right?
afraid of it, right? You don't know what could happen, what trouble it could get you into if you aggressively pursue it, right? I would say that there's two ends of the spectrum, and you want to fall right down the middle, right? You don't want to be the guy that is always in the darkness, because that's going to lead you down a path that's terrible. You don't want to also be the guy that's, the shy, doing the right thing, goody two shoes all the time, because you're never going to know how to tap into the darkness when you need it, because that is huge when you're talking about success, and not like only in lifting, not only in being physically stronger and all that. It's also a success in like business, career, relationship, because somewhere down the road you're going to have to reach down deep to pull yourself out of the ruts in life.
Well, I feel like the dark side is like the most powerful tool you have, because it's always pushing into what's out of the norm, what's uncomfortable, and that's never happy, that's never easy, that's never the passive approach. So your mentality doing those things that are hard, difficult, against society's norms or against, your family's norms, is always going to be something that does have that darkness to it. It's not light, and it's not happy, it's not easy.
And it's scary at first when you tap into it, right? Like the first time that you feel rage, right? You're almost terrified about how you feel.
I think that was a large part of my own struggle. There were some times when I was a kid where I tapped into that rage, and I remember how damn scared I was afterwards. Like, why did I do that?
Right.
Like, that's not all right. You had to I had to learn how to
You kind of start using that fear as like a nervous anxiety, and
Right.
you want to tap into that and use it to its full potential, not to be terrified of it. Because we've all been there, right? Where you kind of pissed off, and you've got to reach down deep, and all of a sudden you're starting to do things that you're not used to, and it scares you. You don't know why you're acting that way. That's where the control aspect comes in, right? You got to realize, like, okay, this is like my fight or flight response, right?
Yep.
I can't run away from it. I got to fight through it. You got to learn how to control it. And that's the whole dark side of this, right?
the force. You were gonna say it.
The force.
Let it out,
The
man.
dark side is more powerful.
For sure, dude. Are you kidding me? Unlimited power.
Do you guys think that the gym played a part in how you learned to control that?
Oh, for sure. That and football.
Football?
sports.
Did you see that?
Football was huge for me.
Well, I think, and then you'll see, like, even the weight room, when you maybe don't have that aspect of control, right? You can get angry and you can do something stupid, right? You're going for a weight you shouldn't do, or you just let the emotions get the best of you, and you let your form fall to the
You
wayside.
ego lift. That's when you
Ego
have
lift.
lost yourself to the dark side, right? You're no longer towing the line. You've just let it consume you.
Yeah.
And that's when bad things happen, injury, right? And I also think as an outlet, right? Everybody's got to find something where they can let that out a little bit,
Yeah.
right? Because if you're scared of it, you never know everybody knows that guy that is just going to snap one day because he's just way too nice. Like one day that guy is going to have a bad day and pull old Michael Douglas from falling down and just lose his mind.
Rocket launcher
right?
from the trunk of
if he
your
doesn't
car.
have an outlet to just constantly train and feel that out, right? And that's what we found through powerlifting.
Yeah.
That's what we found through max effort work and pushing ourselves in here physically, because mentally we will break down, but physically we won't. Right? Because if we can push it, our bodies are capable of doing it. And then, like, if I'm not in the gym, like, let's say, I don't remember the last time I had more than a day or two off, but I can tell you right now that I would be a complete different person if I wasn't lifting.
Without a doubt.
Oh, it keeps
Right?
your short sharp, right? Like
Yeah.
if you let that kind of fall off, or you have something in your life that kind of hones in that dark side or that discipline or that space that you push the uncomfortable, then we all naturally are going to drift down to what's comfortable, what's easy, giving in to, the temptations of just falling in line, not standing out.
And then what about
having
the
an easy
serious
life.
lack of satisfaction you have in your life when you're not pursuing that?
If you're not
You don't
pushing
have that
yourself,
outlet.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't imagine not having something that challenged me every single day.
Yeah.
Right? Because the thing is like, work challenges people. But that's not for yourself. That's for the benefit of somebody else. Unless you're an entrepreneur and you have your own business. Because the dark side definitely plays a role in what Mike and I do.
Yeah.
It's a little different.
Right?
Yeah.
I have so much internal like rage about people in my life have told me I couldn't be successful.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was doing, and powerlifting wasn't my thing. And you're a bad trainer. That is what fuels me to grow and learn and want to do better and make myself the best version of what I can be.
Well, and I think that's just it. I don't think anybody, if they're honest with themselves, is truly happy throughout their life if there's not some growth through the years, through the months, through the decades.
Yeah, stagnant.
If
right?
you're stagnant, like I don't see anybody having any kind of satisfaction putting life on cruise control.
No way.
So even if you're not an entrepreneur, it's like, why aren't you being the best teacher you can be? Why aren't you being the best bus driver you can be? Why aren't you being the best that you can be and not accepting that mediocrity or just stagnant part of yourself where you're just doing what's maybe the minimal so you can just get by, so you don't get fired. But if you don't have any kind of drive, or you're not going to accept like that lack of effort on your side, I don't think people will honestly find much satisfaction. That's where their depression, stagnation, like unsatisfied with what they've done with their life kind of comes from. So I think your life is a lot harder if you try to do I've heard this phrase, like, your life is hard if you do what's easy.
Oh yeah.
If you're not pushing yourself, if you're not actually making your life challenging, like you deliberately taking the wheel and doing that, then your life is hard in that you're not happy, you're not satisfied, your relationships, your career are going to suck. They're not going to be satisfying.
And at the end of your life, right, your eulogy, what is written on your gravestone?
Yeah.
What are people going to say about you after you're gone? Right? Is it just like, yeah, he came in, clocked out, and seemed to have a pretty good life? Or, no, that bus driver was the best bus driver, Or,
Oh yeah, we've had people like that, right?
Yeah,
like the lunch lady that just makes your day. Like, she's super happy and is excited for like saying hi and being that part of your day where she gets to bring you food and just chat with you and ask you how you're doing.
Yeah, Michelle from the Silver Spur.
Yeah.
That was my lunch lady. She rocks, man.
Yeah.
I'll never forget her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to think of it like on your deathbed where you have to face yourself.
Yeah.
Like you look back on your life and imagine looking back and thinking, you fucking coward.
You had so much potential and you wasted it.
Yeah.
That's got to be the most terrifying thing in the world.
That's darker than the dark part of yourself you should have tapped into your whole life.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
That's
bad,
a deep,
dude.
dark pit. And I honestly believe that you guys aren't going to reach that where you feel like you've pushed yourself and you've made these changes in your life, and if you've not tapping into the dark side of who you are, because everybody has something different, right? We all grew up differently. The dark side from Michael is different from me, different from Trey. You got to learn what it is, study yourself, and the best way, and I think, is doing things like Mike says, is being uncomfortable, putting yourself in these things where, maybe that's the deadlift competition coming up, right? Where it's like, it's super unfamiliar, something you would never do, but you're going to get up there and you're going to have to either learn how to tap into the dark side, forget it, and perform well, or go up there shy and humble and maybe not do very good.
Right.
But I have not met one person that did an event like that and wasn't happy they did it, right?
No.
They reached into something inside themselves that is, I think, personally is the dark side, because there's that fear that you're embracing. But on the other side of that, there's some personal satisfaction, some pride in that, because you pushed yourself.
Yeah.
Because you weren't just somebody that sat there in the audience and didn't want to do it, or too scared to do it, or made a million excuses and just gave in to what's easy.
That's why I love that, man, because you have, like, take last year, for instance, you have these people get on stage and the crowd is going nuts. How do you not rise to the occasion and get savage when you're pulling that deadlift?
Yeah.
Like, we had people screaming while they're pulling the deadlift.
And the females were the best to watch, because it's like they're screaming. Little people that you wouldn't even expect to be roaring are roaring at the top of their deadlift. And we're just like, what is going on? Who are you? This is you. This is who you are. Like, I can see you now. You don't have this facade that you're showing everybody else. I get to see the true dark side, because at the core of it, that's half of who you are. I don't care who it is, right? Everybody's got that.
That's raw and that's real, man. It's genuine.
Feel alive. I think most people don't. I think most people are kind of just on cruise, zombie mode.
Yeah.
They have nothing in their life where they tap into that kind of raw emotion. And a lot of time it is like anger or fear. I think we're taught so much to be scared. I think those are bad things. But really, I think that's what we were saying earlier. That's like the biggest driver is fear and anger.
And the thing is you have to learn how to be comfortable with that fear, because it's going to make everybody around you, when you tap into it, scared and uncomfortable. Think about my business, right? Our business. When I even told my own family in the beginning that I was going to move into our place in Broadway, they're like, maybe you should save up and, get some money. I was like, no, I've got people I'm going to prove wrong. I can make this shit work.
Yeah.
Right. That's where my dark side came in. And it seems out of the norm, right? Because it's like people are going to question you.
Well, and the weird thing is it's often, and not that it's ill intent, but it's the closest people. I think they have been the hardest.
Oh, yeah.
Not like they're deliberately criticizing you or whatever, but they're the voices that, one, mean the most, but two, they're like the loudest in your own head.
Even your own mother was like, I don't know if you should move away from San Francisco.
Yeah, no, everyone. And it's not, like I said, out of a bad place, but it's scary, uncomfortable, and they know if you stick on the safe route, it's predictable, right? You're already at a situation that's stable.
Yeah.
You're already at a place where it's like things are going good.
As far as you know, I mean, life throws curveballs, man.
Well, that's just
you can't predict that. And then if you're not ready to handle that, what are you going to do? You're going to fall apart because you're not ready for it?
And that's really not the reality either. I think oftentimes there is no stability. Like, I mean, just look at COVID. I thought I was in a stable, good job. We thought we had all these plans, Chancellor and I, and then just life out of everybody's control threw a wrench. And it's like my stable, cool job that I had that I was working so hard for.
And do you shit the bed during that? Or do you start a business?
Yeah.
And you start making it your own, right? Like that's reaching into the dark side, right? When everybody tells you that that's not a good idea, you'll get fined, blah, blah, blah. You do it anyways because you got something to prove.
Yeah.
And the thing is you want to forever have that kind of dark side and that fear, right? That uncomfortableness.
Yeah.
Like, just think about our next expansion. It might be in the works here soon. Dude, it is max effort, right? We have practiced that controlling the dark side physically with our lifts, but it relates to everything, right? Because when we send it over to Ironworks, it is all hands on deck, man. We don't know if it's going to pan out for us or not, but if I'm going to fail something, dude, I'm going 120 miles an hour when I do it.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, at the end of the day, I think Chancellor and I and all of us at Forge, we have that mentality where we don't want to have gone through life with the regret.
No. Right.
We were talking about every expansion we've done so far with this. It's like, are we ready?
Scary.
No. Is it scary? 100%. Do we know how we're going to get there? Not really. But what if we say no? And then we get stuck, and then we're never going to grow. Or we had this opportunity, we didn't take it. I know I'd be 70 and being like, damn it. It's like, we could have done this, we could have done that. So I would rather, fail and not regret it and learn a lot. Like, I think people don't realize that failure is probably like awesome and like not something to steer away from. Because if you're never reaching that threshold of failure on your lifts, in your life, in your relationship, how are you ever really growing?
Yeah,
how are you ever learning?
How many times do you hear about somebody marrying the first girl that they ever or the first man they're ever with, right? No, everyone goes through failed relationship. Everyone has a failure. That's what drives us.
Yeah,
that's how you know who you are.
Well, you learn the most from your broken or messed up relationships, right?
Yeah.
And then you're finally ready for the right relationship or the right situation because you've had the failures. But if you just go in there blindly and you don't know anything about it, and sometimes they work, but not oftentimes it doesn't, right? Because you don't have the battle scars, the wisdom experience that comes from the failure. The lumps, as Troy Boy would say. Right?
Everyone got their lumps.
I think also too, like the people I find most interesting, most valuable to talk to is people that have the most lumps, right? The people that have been battle tested.
The people that have the most lumps, the most scars, but don't carry them around like baggage.
No.
They pull them out when they need to be reminded of them.
Yeah.
Right? And then they put them away because that's a valuable lesson they learned.
That's the cookie jar.
Yep.
The cookie jar.
David Goggins talks about that, the little cookie jar. When you need that extra push, you got a cookie jar full of bullshit that you can pull upon when you need to.
Mine's like a cookie cauldron, dude. I could dive in a pool full of cookies.
Got a whole pantry, baby.
Right? But yeah, so that's huge, man. You guys got to get to that side somehow, and we encourage it through the gym.
Yeah.
To push yourself and find where that is, where it's going to be out of your control and uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And you might ache, and there might be some bruises and bumps and scrapes along the way, but think about how much you're going to learn from a failed lift. How much you're going to learn from an injury. I've learned, right? I've been squatting with crap mobility for years. I just got like the world's fattest ankles. I just can't move.
You don't have the fattest ankles.
Well, they're not fat.
Not cankles.
No, I don't have cankles like you, dude.
Yeah.
Those are. I'm pretty sure that your heart's failing. That is just edema.
That's just edema.
Yeah, like CHF,
But I ain't scared.
No.
I'll take it on.
But I tweak my back. How many times has it taken me to tweak my back in a heavy squat because I'm having a butt wink because I have no ankle mobility to finally put some heels on after all these years? I'm like, I don't want to squat in heels. I don't want to squat in heels. Put some heels on, and my squat has changed.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like fail, fail, fail.
Yeah.
Thomas Edison, 1,093 times.
Right.
So.
Well, I think you got to look at the impact that has on the people around you too. Like, I think those people that do stuff like that, they come back from failure. Like, those are the people that are changing society, inspiring those around them, versus the people that just take the safe route, right?
And clam up.
And clam up.
Never do that again.
Don't stand up for anything.
Well, think about our clients, right? How many people have come in here with an injury, or they come see you for rehab, where a doctor has told them, right, you should probably never do this again.
Yeah.
Or you should never lift weights. You can never do this, never do that. And now they're in here doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
What fuels you trying to do that? The dark side.
Yes.
Because if you listen to the good side's trust the doctors, trust the opinions of the others, and be safe.
Yeah.
The dark side is what's going to push you in here to improve yourself.
Yeah.
Right? So you have to think about our clients that come in like that, because they're all kind of changing the game. They're coming back. They're ready to do more with their life. It's that they're uncomfortable, right? That's not a comfortable thing to do, is come in here, train, and when you're terrified and you have everybody in the world from chiropractors and massage therapists to real doctors telling you that you can't, giving you all these nocebos. You can't do this, you can't do that, that's broken, you're broken, this is that. Why would you ever take someone else's advice about how you live your life and have them tell you what you can't do? Why would you ever let someone else tell you that?
Yeah.
Right? Because I feel like you think about all these cancer survivors too, right? Who's the most successful people who live? The people who say, fuck cancer. I'm living through this. Right? Not the one that listens to like, I've only got 2 months to live, might as well shut her down.
Yeah. And we don't know why, but some people, those mentality, right? They're somehow beating their cancer, right? There's something there's deep in that affects you physically, even, versus the broken, beaten mindset. And and it's like people that come in here, like, I mean, we've heard that, right? It can be intimidating. That's like one of the main things we hear about, like, what was your first impression
Not just
of Forge?
and like,
but we're okay with
successful
that,
people,
yeah,
right?
they're like, and they've been told things, or they're not sure about lifting or the barbell. But we get to see people embrace that fear, and then how that changes,
Yeah.
Like, I have a client that has scoliosis, literally told by PT's doctors, don't bend up, pick up stuff, except if you're going to do this.
She was
Single
deadlifting
leg, 150 pounds for reps.
the other day. What the hell?
she was getting pain with picking up like laundry baskets because she was told that, you know, your back is fragile. The reason you're in pain all the time is because your scoliosis. Totally no sebing her, because research and everything shows otherwise, that those people, like Lamar Grant, I think his name is like one of the best deadlifters of all time. The biggest scoliosis you could see, just S-shaped. Deadlifting 600 pounds is like, you know, just like a beast. And, but I can, you know, Kathy, my client, I know she came in here scared. I know, like, even the first times I saw her move, that she wasn't, you know, she had her hesitancies with bending over and picking up stuff because, you know, more than one person telling her you shouldn't do that. But, you know, Kathy's a super nice, sweet lady, but I know she embraced that fear and fought through it.
She got into it, dude.
She's pushing
and
stuff.
And she keeps coming back.
Yeah.
Right? She's learning how to deal with it every day.
It's not always some extreme we're talking about as far as the dark side, right? It's your own little battles. It's your own little situation. It's the own little things in your life that you're conquering, because not all of you guys have to be elite athletes or business owners or some, you know, stupid high-end person and whatever it is. It's like everybody comes from, like Chancellor said, a different spot, different place, their own battles. But, like, you know, Kathy inspires me just as much as an elite athlete that came back from an injury would, right?
100%, dude.
Like, she's a mom here in Sheridan, right? Just like, you know, doesn't seem like somebody that you're going to, like, you know, see on a highlight reel on Instagram. But, like, I got to work with her, and I'm inspired by her, because it's like I know she fought through her fear just as much as, like, you know, you'll see
it's the same
somebody in NFL tear their ACL and then come back and play just as good as ever, right?
It's just like Val, dude. Val started me in my garage. She couldn't even step up into her car, dude. She's a car salesman. You know how hard it is to sell something to, you can't even get into the car?
Yeah.
You know, and now, you know, her first time with me, she had to come back to a little crappy garage, single car garage. I was like, hey, just coming around back. Like, how sketchy is that, dude? You don't think she tapped into the dark side when that garage door opened the first day at 4 a.m. when we started training? Yeah.
Well, I just think that's part of our philosophy. Like, you look at our gym, it's black, it's red, it looks dark. We're Star Wars nerds. We like the dark side, right?
We've got a whole wall dedicated to scary things. Skulls.
There's obviously that big dwarf with a hammer about to kill Trey every second of the podcast. But we want that to. That's deliberate. That's part of what we're
provoking, right?
We're not like the white picket fence wall,
average,
like, you know,
run
like
of the mill
motivational quotes on the wall that are
YMCA based, like. Responsibility is the key to integrity.
So you come in here and you're intimidated. That's, you know, that's normal, and that's, you know, we want you to take those first steps and feel that fear.
Good. Now you're uncomfortable. Let's perform, right? So,
and it's that's how you're going to transform, and that's what we're seeing in our clients, and hopefully, like, behind the meaning of what Forge kind of is, we want you guys to embrace the dark side and, you know, have that change happen in your life, where you're willing to fight past what's uncomfortable, what's scary.
And don't let people tell you what you cannot do and can do, right? Decide that for yourself. But the thing is when you decide, make sure you send it 100%, right? Don't go off just your self-opinion, because there's going to be things in here that we're going to push you to that you're going to think you could have never done before. Kathy's a prime example. Val's a prime example. She's stepping up to a 24-inch box to no pain holding dumbbells now. Right? And for those people that are listening to the chiropractors, people out there and other coaches, tell them to stay in their damn lane, right? And, you know, when you go look for a coach, make sure that coach has experience, that chiropractor has experience, that doctor has experience in doing the things that you're doing, right? If that chiropractor, that doctor, that coach has never powerlifted, is trying to tell you that you shouldn't squat anymore, laugh at him. There's no way. That'd be like me trying to coach somebody to run an ultra 100-mile marathon. Why would I do that? That's not my lane. I can get them stronger to run better. But I'm not going to coach them and time them and pace them.
And this even goes back to when we started this business, right? Like, if we took the advice of people that don't run businesses or have never started one, and not that it's ill-intended, not that your doctor, your chiro is trying to sabotage your life. They just really are speaking out of a place of their own perspective and comfort. But like Chancellor said, if they don't have experience with lifting and understanding, like, you know, people that do have your injury or something that you've gone through or whatever, like, where are they speaking out of? It's ignorance. Maybe not deliberate, maybe, like, again, not malicious, but they don't know what they're talking about. If your doctor says you can't squat because of X, Y, or whatever happened to your knee, he doesn't want you to hurt your knee, but we know ways to, like, offload your knee in a squat.
Exactly.
Like, we have the experience. We have people that, like, if you can walk, like, I can get you to squat. Like we can have a modification that if you can bear weight through your knees, that we can take off the load. It's not like you have to have the first day 100 pounds on your back, but we can build you up from there. So, take everything with a grain of salt when those people say what you can and can't do.
Because at the end of the day, experience trumps that education, I think.
Yeah.
Because who are you going to trust? A physics teacher teaches you about currents and waves and how that transfers. Who are you going to have wire your house? A physics teacher or an electrician?
Yeah.
Who does it every single day?
So,
right?
So I listen to those people if that's what they do, if that's what they've done.
And I don't really know anybody in town that does what we do.
Yeah.
I'm not saying don't listen to everybody, but take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Right? There are ways to work around every injury. Yeah. Michael dislocated his shoulder. What was that? 3-4 years ago?
2018. Yeah.
So you think he couldn't squat? Because most people would say he couldn't squat. Oh, no, there's the safety bar because he was squatting in a sling. And I made sure he was. And you know what else we did that same day? I made sure we did some farmer carries with one arm. Right? So there's ways to work around everything. Yeah. You got to reach into the dark side and tell yourself that.
And even there, I was told by a doctor, my father, and then the doctors at the office, like, your bench days are over.
Bullshit. We're going to 500, baby.
Yeah, we're bench 500 this year. I've touched like 60 more pounds than I did previously to that shoulder injury. I mean, all my PRs now have been past that shoulder injury. So
when I tore my ACL, they said I couldn't squat anymore.
Yeah.
I squat 600 plus pounds now.
Yeah. But
what fueled that rage? Where does the rage come from? The dark side.
Oh, and it feels good, right? To prove
I don't lose control. Right? I just want to prove you wrong.
Yeah.
It's just who I am. Okay, I've always been that way.
Yeah, and that's powerful. I think you need to use that. I think people get told no, and then they accept that.
And they shut down.
Versus fighting against it. And I said, that's the biggest. I think can be your greatest fuel and motivation is the people that do say no or do put you down.
Yeah,
or do doubt you. But overcoming that is like where you're going to find that dark side because you're embracing the doubt, the fear, how scary it is. Proving people wrong, because that's uncomfortable to like say no to their face, or even just showing them by your actions that you're saying no to what they told you to do.
Yeah.
But end of the day, that's where you're going to find that pride and satisfaction with who you are and that you overcame that. Because nobody finds any satisfaction not overcoming.
Unless you are paralyzed from the waist down, you can still squat. We can find ways to do it, right? There's ways to overcome any injury.
Yeah. And again, this applies to outside the gym too, right? In your life, in things you're trying to pursue. Listen to the people that have been there, have done it. But otherwise, I think their advice is useless or just taken with a grain of salt, right?
Yeah, you have to understand that it comes from a place most of the time. And I'm just cynical because that's sometimes I think there's alternative motives behind if someone tells me you can't do something or that you should do something. But most of the times it does come, like, especially your close people, like my father, my stepmom, it came from a place of caring that they wanted me to save money before I dove into something as big as Forge, right? As big as Forge 1.0 was.
Yeah.
We were shit in the bed for Forge 2.0. What do you think we're feeling right now? Yeah. Yeah.
But, I mean, I feel when you push yourself there is when I'm the most excited. Like, I feel more alive than I have in decades, right?
That's when your character shows.
That's like where you find out who you are, you grow, and you step up, and then let's say worst case, you fail. You've learned so much about who you are, what you can do, what you're capable of. But if you never push yourself, your capacity, your mental fortitude to handle that will always stay the same, if not get worse as the years go by.
I think just the statement, I failed, is 10 times more more of a person than the person that says I didn't try.
Yeah.
Right? I gave it a shot and I failed. That you took way more steps than the person who just didn't even show up.
Yeah.
Right? How are you going to get that job? If you want to be an actor, how are you going to get that job if you're not going to come to the day where you go practice all your lines or
you're struggling for years and you go through that grind. But I think the harder it is, the more times you fail are often like the best wins, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If this came easy, if we were just getting handed stuff and it wasn't hard and we didn't have like sleepless nights or just stress out your gills, it wouldn't be that satisfying. You'd just be like, oh, this is just kind of happening, right? You don't have to push yourself. We're not growing as people. You're not learning anything new because it's just too easy.
Well, and just in our career, how many gyms out there do you know that have had, silent investors and stuff? And look how successful their businesses are.
Yeah.
They might, but how satisfied are they?
Yeah.
Right. They don't have the growth.
Curtails.
They don't have the drive to be in here on a Sunday for 5 hours doing podcasts and talking and giving content and giving free stuff away. And they just kind of stagnate.
Yeah.
And you don't ever want to do that.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's not just businesses, right? I think you guys can all find something in your personal life that you're not satisfied with and that is an area you can work on. And, I think you just need to tell yourself no. Like, you have to accept like that. I won't tolerate that anymore. Yeah. And you can get angry with yourself too. Like, I've let this slide. I've let this happen. My dad told me no. My friends told me no.
Just adopt the fuck off weak mentality.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Stop being weak. That's a weak mindset to tell you that you can't do something. Have you tried it? Yeah. Have you tried it correctly? Was there a way that you approached this that made sense? Because if not, you never tried it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And fuck correctly too. Like, just try it.
Yeah.
Just take a step and then take another step. I like to think everyone has that one thing at any given time that, is in the back of their mind that they wanted to do or want to do, and they're not doing it for X, Y, and Z. There's always at least one thing.
Oh,
even if it's small, who cares?
Yeah.
There's always something.
No, there's there's everybody. There's nobody that doesn't have something in their life like that.
Yeah.
Because we all are human. We all mess up. We all fall short. But, don't let that be you forever.
And think about how you're living if you have that one thing that you really want to do that's like genuine to your core that you want to try, but you're not doing it. How does that reflect on the rest of your life? Like, you're not living honestly in any facet of your life if you can't even dive into that.
And ask yourself, why aren't you doing it, right?
Yeah.
Is it what you think others might think of you? Is it because of how you think of yourself? Like, there's got to be a reason why you haven't tried that one thing, right? And it could be anything.
I think a good indicator of that is if it's something that you can kind of put a finger on that really hurts. Like, there's some emotion behind it. You suppress it, ignore it all the time. It's something that's like almost, I hate the word now, but like it triggers you because it's like, why is that there? And it's like something that that you don't want to talk about, you don't ever address, you ignore, put it under put to the wayside. That might be that thing for you, the thing that you've always just put to the side, ignored. Right. And it could have stemmed from something, some trauma, somebody that said something to you. But I think that one thing, if you can put your finger on that and you conquer that, like, that's where you'll find out who you are and like who you've let yourself drift off from. Because if there's nothing in your life where you guys don't have some fear or anger from, then you're not really being true to yourself.
Are you even living? Like, seriously?
No, but I think so many people, and that's what we were talking about, like weak men and people that are zombies or passive, is they are not tapping into their dark side. And like Chancellor said earlier, we all have a dark side. Yeah. So if you never have that in your life, then you might have tricked yourself or think it's okay, but you're living a lie. Like, you're not living who you are.
No.
Who you really are at the core, because you've been suppressed.
That's half of who you are, man.
Oh, it is, yeah.
How many of you have a job you go in and you put on a facade all day long, and then you go home and you are 100% different person?
Yeah.
Right? I would expect almost everybody.
Or you're one of those people now, which is so many people, right? You're just scrolling on your Instagram, you're looking at Netflix series, like there's nothing in your life and that really gives you passion, but what you're trying to do is just numb it out all the time, right?
Yeah. Mental masturbation.
It is. You're just trying to get a little dopamine hit, and there's nothing you're actively doing. Like in video games, like obviously you can use them in doses, a small dose, but if you're just doing that to feel like you're accomplishing something,
you're not accomplishing shit.
No, it's fake. And it gets the same parts of your brain, right? Like little dopamine.
Oh yeah. So good. I got new armor. Oh yeah. Trust me, I've been there. Okay.
Yeah. But find that in real life.
Yeah.
For God's sake.
There's got to be something out there, right? Something that you want. And if it's a trauma, reflect on it. Use it as fuel.
Yeah.
Fire the stove like of rage when you're pursuing it. Think of why it's there. Who told you can't have that? Reflect on it. Show them wrong. Because at the end of the day, that's how you look at yourself in the mirror when nobody's around is all that really matters.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's between you and God at that point.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're the only one. You're the only one. He's the only one that knows if you gave it 100%, if there's something missing out of your life.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's a scary thought, right? Is the person looking back at you proud? Or is he kind of like, you probably could have done more with yourself?
Yeah, you're looking at yourself.
That is terrifying to me, right?
Oh, I've always thought about like the man in the mirror, right? You look at yourself, and if you really just reflect on how did I handle this? How did I handle that? And you don't have at least the pride of like, I tried.
And you're going to get it wrong a few times. There's going to be sometimes the man in the mirror is going to be like, whoa, dude, what the hell?
But you can look back and fail and be like, the intent was I tried.
Yeah.
I pushed myself. That was, as long as you're pushing yourself to a point that's uncomfortable, new, accepting the challenge, but even if you fail the challenge, at least you accepted it and just didn't let it go by.
Just like our last challenge, right?
Yeah.
All of you accepted the challenge.
Oh, you guys totally embraced the dark side. That's why you call it Fury, like the 56 Fury, right? Like there was you guys were all uncomfortable. I heard somebody from the beginning, like, got to trust the process because what the hell am I doing eating
worst
this much
time
protein?
of the year during the holidays and New Year's.
Yeah, how many times you guys have to say no to alcohol or like snacks or treats or trying to be like, yep, it's Christmas. I'm going to be trying to, keep my macros in check. It's like, you're weird. You're that guy. Like
you have passion about fitness. Whoa, that's strange. Don't do that. You should just drink this booze and eat this cookie. Come on.
Yeah. No, and it's like, I think plenty of people are not going to like that either.
No, you're not going to be popular.
No. Yeah.
Some of the most successful people in this world are hermits.
Yeah.
Dude.
Oh, yeah, they do. Like everyone,
they don't relate. You think Elon Musk has just a crew of homies he hangs out with and bullshits with? I doubt it.
Dude, I can't tell you how many friends I lost touch with or just completely lost when I dove deep into fitness.
Oh, yeah.
I got serious about it.
You know, my friends, I'd post like inspiration. Remember, I'd write like inspirational things under my Instagram. How many people said I sounded like a fitness influencer?
Yeah, cheesy.
And like, that's so cheesy. It's like, no, dude, I'm trying to practice having some
your mind was under a transformation, right? Like you weren't talking necessarily to other people. You're talking to yourself.
I was feeding my own self. What I saw every day was my own Instagram, my own feed. And if I can read stuff over and over again, your mind will change based on it's like a diet for your mind. You have to watch things that have the same mindset. You've got to think the same way. Your mind can just totally sculpt itself.
Well, and I think you look at, like Trey said, you lose people, but look at those people you're losing. Are they people that actually are like worthy of your time? Like maybe that's doing you a favor, because like those people, if they're at the bare minimum trying to see that you're trying to better yourself and they shame that or
they can't be happy for you,
that's not a good person to have in your life.
Yeah, like, you clap. I don't care who it is. You clap. You think when Michael hits a PR on bench and I don't hit it, of course I'm pissed off. I just put that in my cookie jar of rage to use for next time.
Yeah.
But he still does a good job. I make sure he knows that he did a good job.
Oh yeah.
Right? We're happy for each other when somebody else succeeds. That's what you do. You don't talk shit and look the other way. You clap when it's due. You pay respects when it's due.
Well, and you'll look at let's say, like, for example, someone that's new to the weight room and it's like they're overweight and like, people mock that. It's like, look at that fat guy or something, or like, oh, I'm annoyed that people are filling up the gyms now. But it's like, you got to clap for those people because they're uncomfortable. They're stepping to something and they don't, maybe they're those people doing exercise that looks stupid.
Who gives a shit? They're here.
They're there. Yeah.
You come to Forge and make fun of somebody, I'll throw you on your face off the loading dock.
Oh yeah.
Windmill punch.
Oh yeah. I'll kick down the garage door.
Yeah, and I don't care who you are.
With
I don't care
your
if
face.
you're strong. I don't care if you. I don't care who you are.
No.
Yeah.
So it's like,
if you're 73 years old and you want to just start strength training, Ray.
Yeah.
Right. That's a huge uncomfortable place.
Oh yeah.
One, everybody in the world tells you you're too old to do it.
Yeah. So I think and expect that people do that, but that's not something that's good. You want those people weeded out, right?
Yeah, I like to think that's how you're doing something right.
It's like a litmus test for the people you want in your life.
And here's the thing: the more successful and the closer you get to your goals, the more people talk shit about you.
Oh yeah.
But that's how like Trey's saying, you're doing the right thing. When people are starting to question who you are. Yeah. People are starting to say, I liked you better when I like the fat Michael better now, or I like the fat Chancellor better.
Yeah.
That's when you're doing the right thing, especially when you have other people outside commenting their little comments of, like,
you work too much, you're lifting too much, that's bad for you.
They're not doing it right, or these guys don't know what they're doing.
What did that dude say? It's bad for your spinal column.
Oh, Chancellor squats, yeah. Yeah.
I hope you listen to this podcast, guy.
Yeah. Random guy on
Instagram.
Use that fuel.
Yeah.
But that's going to happen, and that's fine, and that's good, because you want that. That's part of that fuel. You'll get all the naysayers because, you know, and again, the people that are saying that stuff, they're not like the people that
matter.
And like, you know, when people are going to doubt you, because they're not pushing it makes people uncomfortable, because it draws a light to what they're not doing.
And this is what's going to happen, and it's always the same way, right? So say your goal is a fitness journey, right? You tell your friend, I think I'm going to start working out. Your friend at first is going to be like, or maybe it's your neighbor, maybe it's not a good friend, somebody who knows you, an acquaintance, like, yeah, maybe you should start working out. You know, you're getting a little heavy. And all of a sudden you're going to start working out, and all of a sudden you're going to be on his fitness level. And he's going to start asking questions like, hey, what are you doing? Like, how are you starting to look good? And then you're going to surpass him. He's going to start talking shit, right? Now
you're obsessed. Now you spend too much time in the gym.
Yeah, now you're doing the wrong things. You're psycho. You're like, you got to have live a life a little bit.
Yeah.
And then you're going to reach to the threshold where he's going to ask you, what did you do?
Yeah.
Like, teach me your ways.
Yeah.
So you got to get past that little slope of people talking shit to the point where you become an idol, an icon.
Yeah.
Right? And all of you guys are on that path.
Well, and I joke with my client, Sarah, who's out in Oakland, and we train her virtually. It's so funny because it's like she did the first Sober September challenge, and holy shit, did she get a lot of flock for like not drinking.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's just a normal social circle thing. Like her friends would like to drink. People are like, tell me when you're done not drinking so we can hang out. And it's like, you know, and then she's lifting
I would be wringing necks, man. No way.
No, and then she's getting strong too. Like she's never lifted a barbell in her life and deadlifting 200 pounds. And then people are telling her, it's like, well, you know, I get hurt, or, you know, it's like, you probably should stop lifting heavy at a certain point, right? You're going to hurt yourself. And, you know, and there's so much, it's strange because like friends and family are just kind of like talking shit to her, and her husband, Andy, too, who's like a beast, just, you know, tore his ACL and getting deadlift PRs. But then at the flip side of it, you know, sometimes it can be more so is like you're inspiring a ton of people. Like I always joke with her, like, Sarah, you're a fitness influencer now. Because guess what? Her buddies, her friends are, you know, the ones not talking shit are asking her. It's like, are inspired. Like they'll comment on her. It's like, you know, I see you changing, and, you know, physically her body's changing. She's stronger. Her focus is different. But, you know, it's like, that's not somebody that has 1 million followers. Yeah. But I can tell you, like in her circle, she's far more influential than some bodybuilding chick. Like, you know, people that are famous.
Just like our clients, dude. Who are they going to listen to? Are they going to go listen to Mark Bell's podcast that they've never met and don't know?
Yeah, like they're going to listen to
Or are they going to listen to our podcast?
Yeah, they're not
people that they know that care about them, right? That's the circle.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and you have such an impact and a ripple on your inner circle, and more so than like the famous Instagram people.
It's just like my dad, dude. You know, how long have I been trying to get him in here? And all of a sudden, he comes in this week and wants to train.
Yeah.
That's huge, right? Yeah. That's as close as I'm closer to my dad than I am anybody in life.
Yeah.
Right? And even him was kind of like resistant to it, right?
Yeah.
And now he's hopping on board because it's like you become that kind of that thing that holds everybody together.
Yeah.
Right? A staple in the community.
Well, we alluded to a little bit earlier, but that's the thing, guys, is like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you have a ripple effect that runs so much deeper with your local friends, family, your community. Like when you start making those changes, like I'm inspired so much by, like, you know, people like Kathy, even like Sarah, you know, that like it's changing and making this. It's like, I don't even care about like social media or the famous people, really. It's like the people that really inspire me and why we're doing this and like what we want Forge to be a part of is like, I just care about people in Sheridan or the people that we're working with.
I just want Sheridan to benefit from it.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, we have a great community. People who care about each other.
Yeah.
It's not a highlight reel when we get to see you guys every day. I don't care about the Instagram people that I only get to see what they want me to see. I get to see you during your bad days and your good days. Tessa's the prime example, man. She comes in here on bad days, still kicks ass, and leaves here feeling better.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
How did I do that? I just told you to lift a barbell.
Yeah.
Right? It's like...
Yeah.
And then, that's like when you
she
guys
goes home and has that influence on her family, right?
100%.
Brian's all for it. Her kids are loving it. Bridget got in the gym. Like, what?
That's crazy.
Yeah. So it's like, you can't compare yourself to these outside people, right? And you're always going to, like, you know, and it's natural, right? We all have social media. We're going to look at those people and be like, who am I compared to them? But we're telling you, like, personally, and what we see through like people like you guys is it's crazy the impact you're having on us, especially too. Like, I mean, this is why we care. This is why Chance and I, like, just, you know, Trey too, and all of us are making these big leaps, pushing ourselves. Like, you guys are the fuel for us wanting to grow.
Yeah.
Only reason why I want to come to work every day.
Yeah.
if this is just my own private gym, you know, like I wouldn't want to be here every day. No. It's you guys.
That's why I brought that up earlier. Like just the image of Jerry or Chris, for instance, on stage ripping a fat PR.
Holy shit.
Dude, and Jerry especially, like, dude, I just want to scream. I want to break something. I'm so excited about it.
Yeah, with Jerry, dude, came in with like arthritic knees, and he's just crushing a squat.
I know.
And Ray is 73, squatting 200 pounds. And it's just like people get fueled by that. Yeah. Like I'd rather watch Ray do that, and I was so much more jacked that day because of that, than watching some dude squat 800 pounds.
Dude, that made my whole day.
Oh yeah,
dude, he was like over there going, hoo.
Yeah,
oh dude,
it's like, where's that, man? I've never seen that side of you.
Oh no,
that's the dark side, baby. He is dancing in the dark side.
That's
right
a great
there.
example because immediately after that because he's a photographer, right? And he starts talking to me about how he's going to start jumpstarting all this stuff with photography. Like that's carrying over into the rest of his life.
From something as simple as squatting a PR.
He's got a whole new life now, man.
A whole mindset has changed because he's got mental nutrition. He listens to our podcast. He sees our reels. He's in here every day, and absorbing.
And his kids run a gym, and I saw them comment like,
they do?
Yeah,
like
and they run a gym, and
he's never lifted.
And they see him squatting 200, and they're just jacked.
Yeah,
it's like you're inspiring your own kids.
Yeah, he didn't even know.
And they're weightlifters.
He didn't even know I posted on Instagram, dude.
No, he doesn't know Instagram.
He doesn't even really know what Instagram is,
much, right?
Yeah.
But, and then, again, I don't care about views, but it's like, that's our most viewed video is Ray squatting.
Yeah, what the heck?
That had like thousands of views,
5,000
hundreds
views.
of likes, and it's like, Chancellor and I could bench 500 pounds and it'd be like,
and everybody
whatever.
Get like 24 likes. Like, sweet guys, that's what you do. We get it.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think that's what it says. Like, you guys are more inspiring than like people that are already just genetically strong. It's like not that exciting.
No.
I mean, it's like, I follow those people. They're fun to watch because like, holy crap, look what a human can do. Mm-hmm. But it's like people like Ray are 10 times more inspiring to me.
Oh yeah.
And what do we talk about, dude? When hours close, we will sit in here in the Forge Lounge, all of us, and talk about our clients.
Oh,
it's like, did you guys see Gina squat 200 pounds? Like she sunk it.
Yeah.
Like way better. Or Rachel's wife just smoked Trey's wife. Rachel, Trey's wife, just squatted 230 the other day.
Yeah.
Right? When she came to start with me 4 months ago, 135 was giving her knee pain.
Yeah.
Yeah, she had knee pain. There's so many things she avoided because of her back. And now it's all gone.
She gone.
Well, and then Amber and her husband Spencer spent like a year with like bedridden, debilitating sciatica and is deadlifting 300 pounds, never deadlifted before. And then Amber, who had her complete pelvis realigned surgically and had just extreme pain where she couldn't even hardly get out of bed. Mm-hmm. And now she's doing the Cloud Peak deadlift competition and just like crushing PRs. Lauren, 115
pounds, has had throughout her back so many times, and she's only 28 years old. She's like living with chronic back pain at 28 years old, is now deadlifting 190 pounds with ease and probably is going to hit 225 here soon.
Yeah.
She's 115 pounds.
That's crazy.
Yeah. No, you guys
are what inspire us.
Yeah.
Because whether you guys like to admit it or not, when you guys come in here and do that, you're reaching into your dark side. We get to see who you are. It's those reps that you're unsure. Mm-hmm. One of the things Lauren always says is, I'll add more weight. Are you sure? Are you sure we should do that? Yeah, I'm sure. And then I get to watch it, dude, because it's the focus. The first rep's scary. The second rep's ready to rumble, right? Mm-hmm. She'll never admit that she's in the dark side. Maybe she will, dude, but
it's part of you guys. That's why you are able to do what you're doing.
And that's what we want to find, dude. You want to come to the dark side.
Yeah.
Right? Let yourself have that passion, that push, that grind. Because it's huge. And it will totally transform your mentality, the way you view yourself, the way you see adversity in your life.
Yeah.
Because if you know you have that to reach deep down into and pull yourself up to your feet, I don't care how many times you get knocked down, right? The champion is the one that keeps getting up on his feet every time. Yep. Knocks down, back up, knocks down, back up.
Yep.
So
yeah, you fail, you get hurt, all of it's going to happen. But people like JB hurt his hamstring, keeps going,
back
at it.
Oh, he jacks me up all the time, dude.
Yeah.
When I see him in here after he's chugged his gallon of milk and drank a half a thing of honey. And he's in here ripping it, and dude, he sweats more than 5 of my clients combined.
Oh, he works out harder than all of us combined. Yeah.
Well, and think of the first day he stepped in the gym. He was real timid. He was much more reserved. And now,
who are you, JB?
I don't know. And
dude, he is living in the dark side, dude. He is
back
there
from his hamstring injury, and he was hitting those squats yesterday. And I went to give him a fist bump, and he damn near punched me out. He was so excited.
Yeah,
jacked.
So,
I remember JB's first day, dude.
Yeah.
It was like I don't know, this so shy. Now he comes in with a beanie on, pulled down to his eyeballs, ready to rumble some rap music and just go.
Yeah, he's a monster.
Gangster.
Yeah.
That is what I'm talking about. That's the transformation. He still goes to his 9-to-5 job and works like a dog.
Yeah.
But he comes in
crazy
here.
nice guy, super good person, all around
yeah.
hard worker, and still but he has that dark side and he's better because of it, because he's embraced it.
Yep.
Yeah.
More so than he has before.
Yeah.
And the weight room can be an outlet to that. Anything in your life can really be an outlet through that. It's just where you're pushing into your fear, where you're uncomfortable.
Yep.
But yeah, that's what we're here for. It's like obviously on the physical side, the mental side, even injury side. It's like you're going to fight your dark side, and we want to help guide you through that.
Mm-hmm.
But
And if you guys ever need help finding it, like, talk to us.
Mm-hmm.
We'll figure something out, right?
yeah,
And it's not a hateful thing. It's not a rageful thing. You don't have to be just merciless when you're reaching your dark side. It's just something that motivates you harder than you've been motivated before.
Yeah.
it's internal.
It's
yeah.
internal.
You just got to give yourself permission to be aggressive
And
in
have
your
passion.
life. It's okay to be aggressive. Just do it.
I think that's about it, though, huh?
That's good. We better wrap up.
How long was
I
that?
think we're going to run out of battery.
56 minutes.
Might be dead.
We got
roughly.
cut off, huh?
A little bit.
Good.
So at the end of the day, build yourself, conquer adversity, repeat daily. Do these things and dive deep within the dark side, and you will be successful. Punch the tray.